Okay, so today we're going deep, into the Padmanabhaswamy Temple
There you go.
in Kerala, India,
Right.
specifically one of its vaults, Vault B. Now, this is not just any temple we're talking about. This is considered one of the wealthiest temples on the planet,
Absolutely.
with over 1,000 crore.
Wow.
That's about $22 billion already discovered in some of his other vaults.
Yeah, it's a staggering amount of wealth.
It is. So that begs the question, if they found that much already in 6 of the vaults,
Right.
what could possibly be in Vault B?
That's right. I mean, what's behind that sealed door?
Yeah.
We can only imagine, right?
Right. So that is part of what makes this vault so interesting. It hasn't been opened.
Exactly.
Why has it remained untouched when the others have been investigated and unbelievable treasures have been found?
Yeah.
Is it the prospect of even greater wealth? Or is it something else entirely?
Right.
The ancient curses?
The legends,
The
BS surrounding it is quite fascinating.
Yeah, so we're going to try to find out why. We're going to look into the history, the legends, and the different theories that are surrounding this Vault B. I think you're going to be pretty interested in this.
I think so, too.
So let's start with the Padmanabhaswamy Temple itself.
Okay.
We already mentioned it's one of the wealthiest temples.
Yes.
But even more so, it really stands alone
It says, yeah.
in the amount of wealth that it reportedly has.
You know, they found gold coins spanning centuries. They found beautiful diamond jewelry,
Wow.
magnificent golden idols.
Mm.
It really gives you a sense of the historical significance of this temple
Yeah,
and the devotion that it has inspired over generations.
it's just incredible.
And amidst all of that, we have this unopened Vault B, the question mark.
Right. And we know that 6 vaults were opened
That's right.
during an investigation ordered by the Supreme Court. They revealed this unbelievable amount of wealth.
Yes.
But Vault B remains sealed. Now, I think a large part of that has to do with the fact that it's believed to be protected by Hindu scriptures
Absolutely.
and legends. It's not just some, whimsical tales that are being told.
Yeah.
There are potentially serious consequences
Right.
if this vault is opened improperly.
A divine curse, even.
A curse, that's right. So it's not just about, oh, we don't want someone to steal the treasure.
It goes beyond the material value.
It goes beyond the material value. Right?
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the history of this temple.
All right.
It goes back to at least the 6th century.
That's right.
It's had a very long connection with the Travancore royal family,
Very important family.
which helps us understand
Yeah.
why there's so much wealth in there, because they were, donating and supporting.
Huge patrons.
And then, of course, countless devotees over the centuries.
Exactly.
So in 2011, there was that Supreme Court ordered investigation
Yes.
that led to the opening of vaults A, C, D, E, and F.
It's amazing what they found.
What did they find? Paint us a picture.
So imagine chests overflowing with gold coins
Well,
from different periods in history.
yeah.
Then you have exquisite jewelry made with diamonds, precious stones
Unbelievable.
from bygone eras.
Hmm.
And there were beautiful statues of deities sculpted in gold.
Huh.
But then even everyday objects, even coconut shells
Wow.
made out of gold.
They just had so much gold.
The amount is just breathtaking.
Wow.
And it really gives you a sense of the wealth and the religious fervor
Yes.
of the people from centuries past.
Yeah, so much history
Yes.
in those vaults. Now, through all of that,
Right.
Vault B remained closed.
Completely untouched.
Completely untouched. And as you pointed out, this suggests that there were very specific and
No.
very deeply ingrained reasons
Rooted in tradition and belief.
why they didn't open it.
Exactly.
So that brings us to
Yes.
these legends.
The legends.
The legends surrounding Vault B. And the most prominent one seems to be this idea of Nagabandam.
Right.
Tell me about that. What is Nagabandam?
Well, it essentially refers to a sacred binding or a spell, and it's linked to serpents. And so the belief is that Vault B is protected by this very potent, almost supernatural
Right.
security measure.
Wow.
There are warnings in ancient texts that say if you try to open it, especially if you don't perform very specific rituals,
Yeah.
you could unleash a catastrophic curse
Oh, no.
on those who are involved, and maybe even beyond that.
Wow. So it's not just a lock on a door.
No, it's a spiritual safeguard.
It's very interesting, this reverence for serpents in Hindu mythology.
It makes you think.
That would cause them to believe that.
The serpent, the Naga, is
Yeah.
very important in Hindu cosmology.
Right.
Often associated with protection, with cosmic energy, even with divinity.
Right.
So that adds a lot of weight to this idea of Naga Banda being this incredibly strong,
Yeah.
spiritually charged barrier.
Barrier. Right. Now, it's not just, abstract folklore.
No.
There's an actual story about the Travancore royal family back in the early 20th century.
Right.
That tells us a little bit more about what could happen
The dangers.
if you open this Vault B. So tell me about that story.
So, from what we understand, the royal family tried to open Vault B.
Okay.
And after they tried this, a series of really unsettling events happened.
Like what?
There were unexplained deaths
Oh, no.
and all sorts of misfortunes that fell upon the family and the people around them.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, whether those events were just coincidences or whether they were actually because they tried to open the vault,
Right.
we don't know for sure.
We can't know.
We can't know, but it's a very powerful story. And it acts as a warning to anyone else who might want to try.
A cautionary tale.
It really is. And it makes it very clear that messing with Vault B could have some serious consequences,
Yes.
maybe even divinely ordained consequences.
It's interesting how much power a story can have
It is, yeah.
to influence people even today, centuries later.
Absolutely. It speaks to the power of belief
Yes.
and the importance of tradition.
Now, even today, it's
Yeah.
said that the temple priests still believe.
Oh, yes. That only a highly enlightened sage, someone who is very spiritually
Very spiritually in tune.
aware,
Yes, and knowledgeable about ancient rituals.
could even try to open Vault B safely.
It's not a job for just anybody.
No, not at all. So, now that we know all of that, we
Wow.
have to ask the question,
The big question.
the big question. What could possibly be inside?
Yes.
Besides maybe, just even more treasure, what could be in there that would warrant this level of protection?
Yeah. It's the ultimate mystery.
Yeah, we've looked into it, and there seem to be three main theories
Okay.
that we've come across. Let's start with the most obvious one.
Okay.
Even more treasure.
Right. I mean, given how much they've already found,
Yeah?
it's certainly possible
Yeah.
that there could be even more in Vault B, more gold, maybe some rarer artifacts,
Uh-huh.
or even imagine ancient scriptures with lost knowledge.
Oh, wow.
That could totally change our understanding of history or philosophy or even science.
Right.
It's mind-blowing to think about.
So that's one theory. Another theory is that it could house
Yes.
a divine or supernatural entity.
This is where we get into the realm of legend and myth.
Right. It sounds like something straight out of, an ancient story.
It does. Some people believe that there could be a powerful divine force in there, maybe a deity who's, sleeping or in some other special state.
Right.
Or maybe it's a very powerful energy
Okay.
that was intentionally sealed away to protect humanity.
Wow. Interesting.
It really makes you think about the temple's sacred nature
Yeah.
and all of the beliefs about its spiritual energy.
right.
So the temple isn't just a place to store wealth. It's a place of immense spiritual power
It is.
and significance.
And then the third theory
Okay.
is that it contains some kind of forgotten historical secret.
Right. This one's really interesting for people who love history.
Yeah.
Vault B could have unknown historical records in there, royal decrees maybe, or personal accounts from important figures,
Oh,
or even relics that could change our understanding of the region's past.
that would be amazing.
It would be. Imagine uncovering documents that tell us about lost dynasties or ancient trade routes
Wow.
or cultural practices that we didn't even know about.
So much potential.
The potential is huge.
Yeah. So we've got these three incredible theories, right? Untapped wealth,
Right.
divine presence,
Yeah.
secrets of the past.
Big possibilities.
It makes you think about what would happen
Yeah.
if they ever actually opened Vault B.
What would the implications be?
The sources that we've looked at,
Yeah,
they raise a lot of questions, especially about India's economy.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. The treasure they already found has sparked a lot of discussion about how it could impact the national economy.
Right.
So imagine if Vault B has even more wealth.
Yeah.
The economic implications could be huge.
Yeah.
But of course, it's not that simple. How would they manage it?
Right.
How would they use it? How would they integrate it into the financial system?
Right. So many complexities.
Lots of complexities, yeah.
And then there's the whole, potential consequences.
Right. The curses,
The curses,
the legends.
the legends. Now, the other vaults were opened back in 2011,
Right.
and nothing bad seemed to happen.
As far as we know.
But can we just ignore
That's a tough question.
those ancient warnings?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the fact that nothing happened before means that the fears about Vault B are just superstitions.
Okay.
Leftovers from a time when people didn't understand things as well.
Right.
But then you have those very specific legends. You had the story of the royal family and what supposedly happened